Welcome to 3D Accuracy, where I'll talk about 3D printing, 3D product design, and 3D injection and die-cast mold design. Well, day 4 in the shop, remodeling, renovation, repainting, reflooring. We're going to do all sorts of things here to my 3D Accuracy printing shop. Just wanted to give you an update. Yesterday we left it off. I had to move some things around in the shop to get access to the walls where I can grind off the overspray paint off the floor so the peel and stick flooring I want to put down will stick. So here's how it looks now. I've got everything along this wall moved away except for this workbench and a couple of toolboxes, but you can see where all this crud is on the floor that needs to come up so that this peel and stick flooring I want to put down will stick. So I've got to grind this whole thing all the way down to the end. And you can see I've moved the 3D printers out of the way. Everything's kind of in disarray, but that's okay. It's only temporary. Once I get that floor ground and then cleaned up, then I can move on to other things and then quickly get the 3D printers set back up again. Oh, and by the way, stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to have a little bonus product review because I do a lot of product design. I've been doing this stuff for 42 years. I've been in business. I design a lot of products, a lot of injection molds, a lot of die-cast dies, that sort of thing, besides 3D printing all the products. So I've got something I want to do a little review on. So hang around for that. It might be interesting. See, I got one printer moved over here out of the way. Got my support cleaning apparatus over here. I've got my supplies ready. As far as the texturing, I need to do a little texturing and the concrete repair stuff, the paint, although I think I have to go buy more paint for the walls because I bought this paint with the intention of not painting this long wall because there was storage cabinets on here at one point, as I mentioned, and it went from all the way there, all the way over to about here. So there was very little wall left to paint. These two side walls in the shop, you know, the two side walls. And the front, of course, has the lift doors, so that's all open. So not a lot to be painted there. But I think since I've taken these old rickety storage cabinets down and I have to paint that wall, I'm thinking I better go get another gallon of paint and I'll just have them mix them together so that the color is the same. But when I get to that point where I'm ready to paint, then we'll go ahead and do that. But you can see I got everything cleared out of here except for my joint compound. If I need to patch any big holes, I got a couple that maybe I'll mix up a little of that, maybe I won't. And I've got some stuff for removing gooey stuff and oil and sticky off the floor because I got some areas here where, like, you know, vehicles been parked and it's got some surface imperfections, little things I got to clean up. And then I just have, this is all the flooring that I want to put down, so that'll all disappear, but I got to get rid of these other things here yet. But anyway, so it's coming along. It's making progress, and that's the main point. It's coming. Of course, I have in my mind, I know what it's going to look like. You know, I have exactly what I want to do planned out, but that's something that's difficult to convey in a video like this. You just kind of have to see it. You have to see it go through the process and then see, okay, when the paint's done and when all the trim is done and the floor's down and wow, it starts to look cool, and then put the machines back up and then it'll really look nice, really look nice. Anyway, so the little product review I want to do, and you know, sometimes people buy things and they review them online and, you know, they'll purchase something and they're really enamored with it and they'll give it, you know, really good reviews, which is good, you know, it's okay. But sometimes once you've had that item for 4 or 5 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, you start to feel differently about it. And that happens, you know, because when you use something over time, now you really know what that product is like. Anyway, I wanted to show you this. I got a little beef with it, okay? Because you notice here, I took all the drawers out because these toolboxes, as you know, once you load them up, they're heavy and there's no way I'm gonna lift it. And I've got two options. I can empty all the drawers, take all the tools out of it, which is really a pain in the butt. You know, you got to put it someplace. And then, you know, what are you going to do? To me, the easier option is to just pull the drawers and put everything aside. And then I want to get this out of here so it's out of this room, you know, out of the shop when I do the grinding so it doesn't get all covered with dust again. So anyway, this is my product review for this toolbox. And like I said, I only got them a few months ago. They're brand new, and some of you guys and gals maybe have some of these also. And if you've ever taken the drawers out, you know how these things work. They've got these little tabs on the side, and then what you do is you push up this little tab, and it's supposed to release the drawer and slide out. Well, would you believe I've got two of these toolboxes, and out of the 20 sides that I had to release, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and then the other toolbox has 10 also. Out of 20, only one of them released properly, where you bend this little tab up, and then it releases the drawer and you can slide it out. You know, this little guy here. You push this up and you can see what happens. That little catch right there releases from this little part here. There's a little bump right in the track, difficult to see. But anyway, it releases from there. What I had to do, and I'll show you on this toolbox, okay? If we pull this one out, let me get a drawer here. Okay, pull this guy out. Now, if I want to release this drawer and get it out of there, I push this up and there's no way that's coming out. It's still stuck and I've got it all the way up. It hurts my finger to push it that far and try to get it out of there. So what I had to do is take a screwdriver, and I had to come in this little hole right here. You can see that. Get underneath that little catch, and you can see how it's difficult to do here with the camera, holding the camera with one hand and trying to do this with the other. But you can see how get under it. You can see how that comes up, and then I had to bend it just a little bit more, and then pop, I could release that. Now I've released that drawer. So every one, I had to stick the screwdriver in there and pry that little thing up. Now, as a product designer, there's a couple things I see about it that could improve it and make it better. You'll notice here on this, I'm gonna get this screwdriver here. You'll notice here on this right there, that's very sharp on that corner. I don't know if you can see it. It's down in there a little bit. There we go. That's a very sharp corner on there. And if it was me, I would take that corner and I would break that sharp edge so that once it gets up over the other piece a little bit, a reasonable amount, it'll more easily slip off of there and move forward. It's not going to let the drawer come flying out when you pull the drawer forward. That's not going to happen. But it makes it a whole lot easier to get the drawer out, which is what you're doing. You know, I mean, that's why they have the quick releases on there, so you have that option. The other thing about these toolboxes, and I'll show you something else, I like and I dislike. They have this, you pull them out, okay? And when you push them back in, they kind of self-close. Zoop, just like that. I think that's pretty slick. I like that. I think that's clever that somebody figured that out and made that work. It self-closes once it gets to a certain point. And that's cool because they say that, well, what's nice about it is, you know, your tools and the things you have inside, like all my screwdrivers, and I just have them in there. I don't have any mats or anything in the bottom yet because I've just got this a few months ago, and I want to make little dividers, maybe 3D print some things and get them all organized nice and neat. But what happens is the drawer closes nicely and everything stays put. But you'll notice when I go to pull this drawer open, and I got to pull it in the center, it's a little stiff, and then pop, it jumps. You can even hear it. See, it pops. Well, when it does that, everything in the drawer, you can hear it rattling around in there. So, you know, they made the soft close, which is cool, but it's a really rough open, which kind of defeats the purpose. You know, I think they should have looked at that again and made it work on both directions, you know, so that it easily slid out without jumbling everything around in the drawer, and then easily closed. And there's probably a way to do it, you know, if somebody had thought about it enough and prototyped it, tested it out. I'm sure they could have come up with something, but I could come up with something. I know I can, but anyway, that's for somebody else. That's somebody else's project to take care of. It's not mine. So anyway, would I not buy the toolbox because of that? No, I wouldn't. You know, I like it. It's nice. It looks neat in the shop. It keeps everything organized the way I want it to. And that's the important thing, you know. But those little convenience things, when you're trying to do that stuff, you want to make sure you get them right. You know, that's one of the things as a product designer, I mean, is making the product work the way it's supposed to. You know, that's the bottom line. So anyway, that's all I have for today. The shop is coming along. And so for day 4, we made some progress, got a little bit more stuff to move. But then tomorrow, and I'm hoping it's going to be cool out tomorrow like it was today, I'm going to maybe get to do some more grinding and see if I can get this floor finished being ground. Anyway, but if you enjoyed, come back again, please. I appreciate it. All right, thank you for visiting, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're ever in need of 3D product design, 3D injection mold design, 3D die-cast mold design, or 3D printed prototypes or production parts, please feel free to contact me. You can find contact information in the video description. I look forward to hearing from you and to being of service to you. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. See you on 3D Accuracy's next video.